Okay, Mayad Hotel. This is Asar Ra, Satep Ra, Ma'at. Peace and blessing. Today is December the 24th, 2012. So, I thought it might be a good idea to do a little something about Christmas, since tomorrow will be Christmas Day. Me, myself, I don't see it as any other day. It also happened to be the day of my solar return. Now, tomorrow will mark 52 solar returns for me, what you could call birthdays. I don't call them birthdays because I've never given birth to anyone. So therefore, I can't have an official birthday because I've never done it. Now, if you want to know the day that my mother gave birth to me, which would make it her official birthday of her son, Al-Sarah Satep, that would be December the 25th, 1960, in Detroit, Michigan, at a place called William Booth Memorial Hospital that is no longer there. They eradicated it. I guess it served its purpose after I was born there, so they was like, we can get rid of this place now. Now that's what ego is right there. You just heard a bunch of it. But anyway, back to the point. Should Christmas, no, it says, should Christians celebrate Christmas? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think about Christmas. I don't really care if Christmas is something that's real common and enjoyed by the masses on this planet, because I see the evil that Christmas does. First of all, it perpetuates capitalism, because capitalism is a part of a political structure that is all governed, induced, and conduced, as well as sustained around a form of religion disguised as politics, as well as right flat in your face politics too. Because to show you that it's politics, come Christmas time, everything else gets shut down for Christmas. Nobody cares about anything except huge Christmas trees. You have government bodies that find mad amounts of money to spend on Christmas to decorate huge ass trees with lights, man hours of work, materialism, electrical expenditure, all through the country. The government bodies to decorate the White House, to decorate all the places they decorate, capitals, that is spent on top of all of the man hours and efforts of people to buy gifts, and the outrageous price adjustments that's made by all these proprietors, and just the overall bad health that it brings with the depression and all this extra work to do, and then all this just depletion of wealth that goes to a grave of never return. It's like the Dead Sea. Everything goes in but nothing comes out. That's what Christmas is. No one gets anything good out of Christmas except more perpetualized, foolish consuming. That's all it is. People do it because they have been programmed in their mind that if you do not get anything for Christmas, it's not a good day. Well, what about all the rest of the days of the year you didn't get anything? And all this stuff being all pushed by corporations who wants you to spend your money. It's all a big smokescreen to make people foolish. And the people who perpetuate Christmas is people that launched Christmas from pagan religions that got launched from pagan civilians. These pagan civilians took as much knowledge as they could from other people and ran with it, and was able, with limited senses and limited availability of originality, they were not able to go anywhere further with the knowledge of the winter solstice is what you find out this is all about, where these people were not aware of why the sun was positioning itself in a position to make the earth look like it was dying. So in the defense of that, they started worshiping the evergreen tree, who they know this still had green leaves on it. All the other trees had died and withered away. They started worshiping this tree and putting decoration on it and everything because they saw it as God. These are the Europeans that was up in Europe that didn't understand how things worked. When the winter solstice came around, it'd be so cold and the earth looked so dead, except for the evergreen tree. They started worshiping the evergreen tree. They burned logs to start fires around the evergreen tree. to try to show the evergreen tree that they were willing tenants, willing subjects of it, and they would do everything they could to keep it warm, to keep it alive. They even put candle fires on the tree. That's the reason why to this day you still put light bulbs on the tree, lights round, shaped like the sun, because it's all synonymous with the Europeans doing these type of actual rituals to try to coerce the sun and return it to the earth. They didn't realize that the sun had just reached its farthest position from the earth and would start to come back as the earth turned back into a pivot where it put itself in position to get closer to the earth. They couldn't understand that. So all this Christmas stuff comes and is all a representation of unknowing activities of earth recipients synonymous with the solar events of our creator essence that we know as our S-U-N sun, that we could also call Keper, Ra, Harakte, Atum, and Asar, are all the ancient Kemetic names that I could give you right now, but there's many more. Amun Ra, you name it, I could give you many of them. But all of this Christmas stuff and all of these holidays that we have here in America are all centered and evolve around solar events. I will prove that to you later, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this. And it's really interesting. There's some very interesting stuff that they talk about in here. So I want everyone to please try to stay focused. They try to bear with it. It's not really bad, but a lot of people is going to be upset about me attacking Christmas. I'm not attacking Christmas. I am attacking the realm of not knowing. I want you to see where Christmas was launched from. And once you know where Christmas was launched from, if you don't mind celebrating it, just like you have a right to do it right now, you still have a right to do it then. But my job is to observe and report. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Peace and blessings. Please enjoy what I bring to you. I hope you can find some use for it. Yo, I really do. Okay, here we go.
Long before December 25th was associated with the birth of Jesus Christ the Lord, winter celebrations have been observed in various ways around the world. From the Norse celebrating Yule, to the ancient Romans celebrating Saturnalia in honor of their pagan god Saturn. The question that I'm going to propose is this: should Bible-believing Christians celebrate Christmas? Before you answer, let's begin by looking at the history of this day and also how ancient pagan practices have been left behind for centuries. The Norse were a pagan civilization that worshipped gods such as Thor and Odin, and were known to have had human sacrifices. In Scandinavia, the Norse celebrated the holiday called Yule from December 21st, the winter solstice, through January. In recognition of the return of the sun, they would bring home large logs which they would set on fire. This custom is still kept in some homes to this day, burning the Yule log during Christmas. Now you tell me, what has this pagan tradition of burning a Yule log have anything to do with celebrating the birth of Jesus? The celebration during the winter solstice for the ancient Romans was Saturnalia, a holiday celebrating the god of agriculture, Saturn. It was observed beginning in the week leading up to the winter solstice and continued for a full month. It was a hedonistic time where food and drink were plentiful and the normal order of things was turned upside down. Businesses and schools were closed so all could join in on the celebrations. During this time, some also celebrated the birth of Mithra, the pagan god of unconquerable sun, on December 25th. To the Romans, this was the most important day of the year. In the early 4th century, Catholic leaders decided to institute the celebration of Jesus' birth. They had a problem, though. Nowhere in the Bible does it say the actual date of Jesus' birth, nor does it say we are to honor this day at all. But Pope Julius I chose December 25th, the same date of Mithra's birth, keeping all the evil traditions alive anyway. Now, since Catholicism decided all this...
Okay, let me share something with you guys. December the 25th has always been recognized among melanated people as the birthday of the new sun, S-U-N sun. It was the Europeans who corrupted it by giving it an earthly personification known as Jesus Christ that they tried to solely enterprise for themselves, as to say that he was the only, if you will, mitochondrial man that was born on earth as a representation of the macro sun. Now this was all black demonstrations of how our universe worked that we shared with them and taught them about how on December the 25th there was an opportunity for men that's born under that star and under the cosmic rays of sunlight and everything set up in the galaxy, that a divine person who had the proper genetics and had did the proper rituals and past lives could be incarnated on earth at that time and receive cosmic information from light spectrums of cosmic light emanations that could make it have a soul manifestation of godlike qualities running through it. That's what that's all about. All the cosmic requirements have all been set up in an intricate calibration to deliver a spiritual essence in the package of a baby child born on that night. This is demonstrations that I could find for you later in books and read to you that has always been a known existing functioning of our universe. The Europeans took it, corrupted, and now they want to kid everybody mind twisted about whether or not that Jesus was born on December the 25th. We don't care whether or not that Savior, that Jesus was born on December the 25th. I'm going to tell you one thing. I was born on December the 25th, and I am a melanated Savior that has been doing this type of come back to earth forever and a day. It don't have anything to do with any of their hocus pocus crap that they're going to get everybody disturbed right now. They got you with Jesus. They done threw Santa at you. They got Frosty the Snowman. They got everything in their mama out there to try to make you be stupid as hell and deceived. And I'm on the track to where the hell am I going? But I'm still going even though I don't know. Let me tell you what you need to understand. None of that make anything to do with the way our universe creates their micro gods on this earth. And they're born on December the 25th, and I'm one of them. Please believe that.
Did we obey Roman Catholicism or God, which warned us about her in Revelation 18:4 and 5? Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Probably the most common symbol associated with Christmas is the Christmas tree. The origins of this custom date back long before it was adopted into Christmas. The evergreen tree itself in many ancient cultures was believed to keep away witches, ghosts, and evil spirits.
Let me tell you why they believed that. They thought that the evergreen tree was God. They really did, because they saw in the wintertime all the other trees, the leaves would fall off of them and they would die, according to what they believed. They was not wise enough to understand that the trees did not die. The trees just gave up their leaves because since the earth had pivoted on its axis, it put itself in a position, well, not the earth, what I mean is because of the pivot, there was seasons from the rotation of the earth and the position of the earth and the sun. They couldn't understand that this earth was just receiving less of the sunlight that was keeping the earth heated all summer has gone away, which means the earth is subjected to getting more cold temperature. The cold temperature comes along and creates a circumstance where the leaves have a temperature now that doesn't make them be able to flourish and stay on the trees. Along with that, it's snow and everything like that comes along that makes the trees not die, but go through a process of falling to the earth and becoming more earth matter. So it's an intricate part of the ecosystem that has to go through these type of playouts and these type of routines in order for everything to have sustainment. But unknowing the science behind this and the true dynamics of what they were dealing with, these Europeans turned the evergreen tree into a god and started worshiping it, building fires around it, putting brown symbolic items and symbols of sun on the tree as if to try to talk to the tree and say, make the sun come back. We know you're connected with the sun because you're the only tree in the forest that didn't die. So truly, you have to have some God connections. Please talk to the sun and ask the sun to come back. And in return to that, we'll give you gifts. So they used to bring gifts and put them under the evergreen tree as a form of bowing down to it and worshiping it. And to this day, you have people that still bow down to this tree and worship it every Christmas morning when they go to that tree and bow down to it to pick up their gifts. And you don't understand that you're now worshiping this tree as the person that gave you this gift. And not only is you worshiping the tree as the person that gave you the gift, you also worship some white man, Santa, who never brought his ass down the chimney and never did anything. So all this stuff, if you really want to know what I'm describing to you, I am describing psychotic behavior that is a disease of this whole planet. It's all based on lies, one lie after the other. Santa didn't bring shit, and this Christmas tree is not no God that you should be worshiping for a gift that Santa didn't buy. Your mother or your father or yourself bought it, and y'all all sitting up telling lies. You lying about the tree needing to be worshipped, and you lying about Santa too. Shame, shame, shame.
The early Romans during Saturnalia decorated their homes with boughs of evergreen trees, as did the Druids. Germany is credited with starting this tradition as it is kept today during the 16th century. They would cut evergreen trees down, decorate them with various things like apples and candles, and place them in their homes.
Round things.
The origin of this practice of decorating evergreen trees comes straight from the heathen religions. Shall we do as the heathen do? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Now we come to the infamous Santa Claus. History states he was actually a 4th century Catholic bishop that was admired for his charity. Legend states that he gave away all his inherited wealth traveling the countryside, giving to the poor and sick. He has many names around the world: Santa, Father Christmas, Saint Nick, and Kris Kringle, just to name a few. Kris Kringle actually means Christ kind, and that is exactly what this satanic character is trying to replace: Jesus Christ.
Well, see, I want to show you guys what I'm seeing. Regardless to what he tries to tell you is going on, I'm going to tell you what you can really see here. You can see those 2 horns right there. Okay, you see them? You see the obvious Santa hat, right? That's Santa's hat. You can see Santa's suit, right? Okay, and now look. You can see that Santa's got a bunch of gifts in his little bag that is obviously gifts for little kids. You see that's a teddy bear? You see that? All right, he's bringing gifts to little kids. But now look, they put this little white man face right here to show you the truth is that these guys that come along disguised as someone who's bringing you something for your children, they remove their little white faces and you'll see the true character of who they are in the background. And these are the Catholics, the same people that's responsible for Zionism. See, this is an old school picture that he's going to try to give you a different definition of what you're looking at. But I'm going to tell you from my realm of time and space, my spiritual definition of this is real simple. This guy, when he put this mask over that face right there, all you're going to see is Santa. You're not going to see the devil that Santa is really cloaking. Real simple. The fact that he has gifts for children means he's bringing them something to play with and ingest. You see that? Which is sugar. We know you shouldn't be giving sugar to your children. Look how they put it right in your face all the time. Look what he has in his hand. He has a staff in his hand that's probably like a mistletoe or something. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that's going to be representative of the person that's bringing like the scepter or whatever, something of authority of rulership. And we know Santa has authority of rulership because every Christmas they decorate the tree at the White House, they decorate the tree at hospitals all over the country. Just this Christmas yourself, ride down the street and see all the useless, foolish use of electricity to perpetuate a devil all right, disguised as some cheerful, giving white man. And then it's all based on, like they said right there, Catholicism started in Germany. Okay, again, Zionists and Nazis again, you know. Come on now, wake up. So to make it really simple, when you go out and spend all the money for Santa to have a bag of toys to bring to your kids, what's going on is that the bag of toys that's being brought to your kids is a bunch of foolish lies, rhetoric to induce foolish consuming, all designed by this devil fucker right here that's in reality this guy right here. When he put that mask on and sit in the department store laughing at your ass, talking about ho 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 all day, you put your daughter on his lap and he fondling her. Well, how does a little girl come and tell you Santa fondled me? And then how does she live with that traumatic experience? You know, and you send your ass there too busy getting your other daughter ready and that's his moment to move in too, and he take advantage of that. And the little girl is just disturbed, and then the little boys too, because they don't know how to deal with that. They can't tell you Santa just groped me, mama. And then if they did tell you that, you're going to be too embarrassed to want to attack Santa for doing that anyway. And imagine how much opportunity for that to go on. People just willingly go out and employ every Christmas, sitting your child on some complete stranger's lap, and then actually paying to have another picture taken with Santa this year with your child that you've done for the last 3 years. And it's like one picture is sufficient. Come on now, grow up. And then they just give you what year it is at the bottom to make you feel like this is like protocol. You have to do this, at least until your child's 18. It's like, damn, wake up, people. It's just all to get money out your pocket. Can't you see that shit? And it's evil and wicked. Look, somebody in the old days made it perfectly simple that this picture would be around for us to all be able to witness today. They showed you behind Santa is evil. They show you that right there.
The similarities are there if you just look. Santa knows when you are good or bad, when you're sleeping and when you're awake. He has a list of all the good and bad. He is a carpenter, and his hair and beard are white like snow. If you were to ask a child who this was just by this description alone, would they say it was Jesus or Santa? We lie to our children about a fictional character, but fail to teach them the truth about Jesus Christ. We tell our children to be good or Santa won't bring them any presents. But what about teaching them to obey God and His Word when it says in Colossians 3:20, "Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing unto the Lord." If all these similarities seem innocent to you, remember what was written of Satan in Isaiah 14:13. "But thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Satan will try to replace Jesus any way he can. He is the father of lies. Now, after knowing all this information just given, I'll ask the same question from the beginning. Should Bible-believing Christians celebrate Christmas? No, we should not celebrate this day. We as Christians should not want to keep these pagan festivals alive. Their roots are satanic. Only the facade has changed to appear to be so-called Christianized. It's not about putting Christ back into Christmas either. Jesus Christ never had anything to do with Christmas in the first place. Catholicism changed its name, but that's all they did. All the pagan elements are still there. We are never told to...
I want to show you guys something, okay? Now listen. You want to talk about paganism, look at this right here. This is out of Egypt right here, okay? So it doesn't have anything to do with no paganism. What it has to do with these guys, they went and jacked this and stole it and brought it over here, okay? You understand what I'm saying? And this is the same people who gave you Christmas, and they gave you charity and love thy neighbor and all the type of rhetoric that goes along with being divine and godly. But right here, they can show you that they went into Egypt and they were the ones who destroyed Asar's statues and destroyed his temple. And they took his phallus and brought it home with them. And there it sits right there. And see, this is what kills me. Because they always tell you stories around Christmas and around supreme divinities and around deification of self and everything that must be a part of a machinery system that is going to have anything connected with everything that's great about their Jesus, just like he's saying right now. You know, he want to tell you that Santa is so bad and everything and we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. But the whole Christmas thing is vibrating around the fact that December the 21st was Jesus' birthday and this and that. So now here you got a system or something that's been fueled and perpetuated around a whole bunch of inconsistency, if you will, segments added into the history of the human family. And now that they're in place, they want to try to eradicate all the things that they knew was garbage when they put it in there. But we just going to remove a little bit at a time. And then eventually we have a more solid case. All right? So this is what I'm saying. If you're going to get rid of his birthday, again, Christmas Day, let's get rid of everything that we find not being in existence and factual, and eventually his ass will be gone too. So at least you're on the right track. But I had to point this out. And don't stop because I get mad and point this out. Here another person perpetuating their God around stolen stuff from us Africans. And the whole idea of a God being born on December the 25th, with the Immaculate Story and everything, was all originally ours, and they've tarnished that too. Okay, so I want to point that out because yes, my birthday is December 25th, and yes, I claim that I am an incarnated God, and I have proof to prove it. So all their story about their Jesus and everything, fine and dandy for them. But the one thing I wish they would do is get their own structures that they are responsible for building and erecting themselves when they ever want to show you something that's going to be divine and have solidity to a story of a God people.
Celebrate the Lord's birth or remember it in some outward showing. On the contrary, we are told to remember his death. 1 Corinthians 11:26. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup, when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye, as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. But you would say, it's a time of giving and joy. Don't we as Christians do this always? Why do we need a special day for this? Please consider this message prayerfully.
Alrighty then. Oh, damn. Let's say, but the hour cometh, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay, good. I'm glad it said that. I'm going to read it again. It said, but the hour cometh. That means that it's not here yet. That means that it's coming. And now is, wait, it's here. Imagine that. It said, but the hour cometh, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Now listen what it said. It said, you shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Right there in the first sentence. There it goes. Father, spirit, truth. Right there. See it again? Now it goes, for the Father, word Father again, seeketh such to worship him. So there is another action around worshiping the Father. That's what it said in the first sentence. And then in the second sentence, it tells you not only after you're instructed to worship the Father, it tells you that it's good to worship the Father because the Father sees such to worship him. See, he seeketh that. So to worship the Father, you don't have a problem with that. You worshiping Jesus, good with him. Now listen to what it says. The next sentence says, God is a spirit. And they that worship him, again, him, okay, because now first it said the Father, first sentence, that'll be male. Second sentence, Father, that'll be male also. But now it goes, God is a spirit. And they that worship him, again, must worship him in spirit and in truth. So you're going to worship spirit and spirit, because look what it says. It says God is a spirit. So it tells you right there what you worshiping is a spirit. That's what your God is, a spirit. And they that worship him, so now you got a spirit that turned into a him, just like I showed you in my picture where you had three spirits that came together, went into a uterus and turned into a him. Remember? There was three spirits. I showed you that. Okay, so now that you worship